We just got this announcement, as did the rest of the state, that the governor has basically declared a state of emergency here and activated the National Guard. We are already getting responses from some of the people who have been protesting here, even some of the residents who I've talked to, who are saying this seems to be a huge overreaction, being that there has been no real violence over the past 90 days of protesting. We are now at about 100 days plus of daily protests here in Ferguson. Some people are saying this is inflaming the situation more, but the governor has said over the past week or so that he wanted to make sure that the state is prepared, wanted to make sure that businesses and residents here in Ferguson and surrounding cities of St. Louis felt that they were protected and safe. The protesters, for their part, have said, we have been protesting peacefully. Yes, we've been loud. Yes, we sometimes use words that the police do not like. Yes, sometimes we're in their face, but we have been generally peaceful. And this just adds fuel to the fire, trying to paint us as violent protesters. That being said, we do know that there are a few cells out there who have been talking and planning on doing things that are destructive. The protesters that have been here on a daily basis and who are residents here in Ferguson have said if we see someone being violent, if we see somebody acting out in that way, we will do our best to stop them from hurting our community, but we do want to be able to speak our minds. This has been a very, very difficult time here for some people in Ferguson. The business is saying that they are hurting because of what has been happening. On the other hand, they do believe in people's right to be out in the streets as long as it's peaceful, and it has been peaceful for most of the time. This announcement by the governor, it will be interesting to see by the end of the day how that affects the protests tonight.
Yeah, because we heard the governor last week say that he would have the National Guard on standby, but now he's activating the National Guard. Do we know anything about the timing of this? What prompted this now? Of course, we're waiting for the grand jury decision, but do you know if there's anything else at play here?
We do not know, and we are trying to get in touch with the governor's office to ask if this was something that they're trying to let us know that there's something about to happen, or if this was just something that they would normally do to make sure that the National Guard is ready to be activated if indeed it is needed to help support the local police. We do know, there are 60 police departments in and around Ferguson who could at any time be called to come in. The protesters, again, it infuriates them because they say, look, for so many days, for so many weeks, we've been out protesting peacefully. We don't need a huge police force out here. We are trying to police ourselves. And they have shown an example of that throughout this 100 days or so. So there is a lot of frustration on the side of protesters who feel like they're being painted a certain way when they say they're just exercising their rights of freedom of speech and assembly. On the police side, they are wanting to be prepared, and the governor has said time and again, we are going to make sure that the police are prepared to deal with whatever happens when that grand jury decision comes down. Now, we do know from the prosecuting attorney's office that the grand jury is expected any time now, because they have been telling us time and again that it would happen sometime between mid-November and late November. We're already at mid-November. And so there's a lot of folks who are looking at the date and saying it's got to happen very soon.